Good evening. Hello, Corinne. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me. Having a little bit of technology issue this evening. Was trying to get my screen to lock and it did not want to cooperate, so we'll try that again next time. But we will get started in just a moment. Let's see. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Jennifer Helm, the Faithful Stamper, and today is Monday, September the 21st. It is Mystery Monday. Hi, Anne. And on Mystery Mondays, what I like to do is give you a supply list earlier in the day. Hi, Chelsea. But I don't show you the card or cards that we are going to make until we go live on Monday evening. Hi, Jody. Happy Monday. And thank you all very much for rolling with the time change. We started at 8:30 this evening. So thank you all for rolling with the punches and trying out the new time change. All right, so here we go for today's Mystery Monday. And if you're looking at the supply list or if you have them collected in front of you, you're probably thinking, what are we doing tonight? Because it's a little bit of a different list than usual. So here is why you needed the supplies that I listed. This is the card we are going to make tonight. But we are also going to make this card and this card. Hi, Thelma. Hi, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. So tonight's Mystery Monday is actually a triple card set. I'm going to show you one technique that is going to net you 3 cards. Hi, Sue. Happy Monday. This is a technique that I saw that I really wanted to try, and I finally decided to break it out for Mystery Monday. And it's simple, nets you 3 cards at once, and you can have a lot of fun with the different possibilities. The most important key for this card is a guillotine style paper cutter. And if you're not familiar with it, it's one that kind of has a cutting arm. Other style cutters, if they are heavy duty and can cut several pieces at once, you might be able to get away with. Our paper trimmer can do more than 1 piece at once, but I wasn't sure it would cleanly cut through 2 pieces of DSP and cardstock all at the same time, or you can actually mix it up and do 1 piece of DSP and 2 pieces of cardstock. So I don't like to push the envelope too much with my paper cutters. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'll show you the most important step for your cutting. So for these cards, I have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that is 4 1/4. No, I'm sorry, it is 4 by 5 1/4. The front of your card will be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so you want to take a 1/4 inch off. Hi, Ellen. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. And so I've got my Night of Navy cardstock, and then I have 2 pieces of coordinating designer series paper cut to the same size. And as I said a moment ago, you can take 2 pieces of cardstock and 1 piece of designer series paper, or 2 and 1. You could probably even do 3 and 3 if you wanted. Cardstock wise, that might be a little plain. And depending on your paper, 3 pieces of DSP might be a little busy, but you could try it if you've got something that would work. I opted for 2 DSP and 1 piece of cardstock. And so you need to stack your paper so they're all together. And this is the only tricky part, is trying to keep your paper together. And when you put it under your blade, you're going to want the start of a cut here on the left, up near the top, and there's no exact science to this. And then you're going to cut towards the center on the bottom. Hi, Conchetta. Thanks for tuning in. And so I just kind of eyeball where I want my cut to go on the paper. And I'm holding them all very tightly together. And then when I like where things are situated, I hold down my little paper guard here to make sure they're not going anywhere. And I'm going to press down. I'm also going to keep my thumb right here on this edge to try to keep these papers together as much as possible. Because if they get out of line, then we're going to have issues with the pattern. But there's one cut. So I've got a little triangle for the bottom. And that leaves me with an interesting looking piece here. But what I'm going to do is make one more cut. I'm going to stack them all back together, make sure those top corners match. And I'm just going to make a cut from the right side down towards the big diagonal cut. And again, no exact science to this. You will cut a different kind of look every time you try this. I try to make sure I don't have too exact of a piece there at the top, but other than that. And again, hold it down. You do have to use a little muscle to get that. So then what you can do is take your papers and make your pattern. So for example, we're going to have 3 panels here. Hopefully we'll see if you can see this all on camera. Just lay out one of every piece that you have and mix and match. Until you have 3 panels together. Not too difficult there. And so you should have several pieces of either Whisper White or Very Vanilla cardstock. You will have 3 for the interior of your card. Now if you used a light color card base, you won't need an insert inside. But since I'm going to be using Misty Moonlight, I wanted a white insert for the inside of the card. But you also need 3 for the outside, because what you're going to do is glue each of your panels together using one of the Whisper White panels. So these are 5 1/4 by 4. Jody, I'm glad you like that. And typically what I do is I start with the top panel. Let me get out the right glue here. I'm going to break out my Stampin' Seal Plus, which I use for all my gluing needs these days. The trick for this is not really tricky. You want to get kind of close to the edges because you're going to have a few more corners than you would normally do if you were gluing a rectangle piece of paper. So I start with that top panel. I got a little extra glue here showing, so I'm just folding that back. Those perforations for the Stampin' Seal are great for that. Easy to fold back. I'm just going to line up my top corner and then the side and line it up across the top before I press it down. And so basically you're just putting together a little jigsaw puzzle here. Watch your corners. Like I said, you want to make sure they get down nice and neat. And with the Stampin' Seal, since I've got this little bit of overhang, I'm just folding it right back. I don't want any adhesive on the front of my card. Jody, you make me laugh. This is a very impressive technique, but it's so simple to do. So I'm going to line up the bottom corner on this one and then make sure the edge meets nicely up at the top and press that down, and then I have this last puzzle piece to go right in there. Getting glue on these little corners will be the trickiest thing you do. Now if you're using liquid glue, it won't be quite so finicky. But I tend towards a tape runner more so. And so if all goes well, you can nestle this last piece in and either line it up at the corner or just snug it into place. And there we go, one panel. And so I'm just going to repeat this for the other two panels. And again, I tend to start with that top piece. So I'll kind of try to roll through this a little bit quickly for you. This Designer Series paper that I'm using is from our Tasteful Textures suite. And it is a wonderful double pack of Designer Series paper that is chock full of textures. Lots of fabric look, lots of wood grain pieces, pieces that look like marble and brick, stonework, even some that look like you went a little crazy with a spackle brush on a wall. Lots of fun. And so I'm just going to keep assembling these. Now, I don't know if anybody saw, I know I had several Facebook posts today, but Stampin' Up! Announced this morning that we are having a 24-hour stamp sale, which is going to be September 23rd, so in 2 days. And a nice selection of stamps from our annual catalog are going to be 15% off. So be sure to check that out. I'll be posting again about it with details of the stamp sets. But we do not do like this very often, so take advantage of it, ladies. All right, so there is panel number 2. One more to go. And I love this because with just a few cuts of paper and a little bit of time piecing them back together, you have 3 cards ready to go. And you can make them all identical if you want, or you can mix and match your sentiments. You could even do a bunch of them, create a bunch of them, and then let them sit and not put sentiments on them until you need them. It is totally up to you. I happen to be in need of some birthday cards, so that's why I went the birthday route. And of course, I made a Christmas sample. Is anybody surprised? I'm not sure I'll know what to do when I'm not making Christmas cards every week. But be sure to check out that stamp sale, because I don't know about you ladies, but I like anytime craft supplies are on sale. There we go. I thought my Stampin' Seal Plus was getting camera shy there for a minute. All right. So here we go with this last little piece. My glue's a little fussy at the top. And there we go, all together. So now we're just going to build our cards. So I have my Misty Moonlight card bases. I decided to go with 3 in the same color. And this is a nice simple step. Just take your panel, put a little adhesive on it. And you're ready to put this down. If you ladies are crafting along with me at home, be sure to share pictures of your creations. I would love to see what papers and what combinations you use for this technique. And there's 2. Got a little bit of glue on here. And here's my last card front. Sometimes I think my adhesive is telling me I need more glue. Maybe that's why it doesn't want to work. Because whenever I try to not put on so much is when it doesn't want to work. Oop. All right. Oop. Before I stick that down, that one looked like it was a little too close to the bottom. So there I have my card fronts. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring over a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment for the front. I am choosing a happy birthday stamp from the Layered with Kindness set, and there's a coordinating punch. It is the Label Me Lovely punch. So I'm going to stamp in Misty Moonlight. And since it is red rubber, I don't need any extra cushion under my stamp. It's already built in. So there are 2 and 1 more. And then while I have that ink open, I'm going to set that aside for just a minute and pull over my card inserts. And I'm going to accent the bottom with a little flower that is also from the Layered with Kindness set. So since I have that Misty Moonlight ink open, I'm going to put a little flower on the bottom of each of my inserts that'll go inside. I'll stamp the rest of that in a moment. And don't forget to stamp your envelopes. I'm all about envelopes with a little pizzazz. Sometimes there's so much dreariness that comes in the mail, all that junk mail and stuff. I like to perk my envelopes up and either do a little stamp on the corner or a little designer series paper on the back, on the flap. That way somebody knows they're getting something fun in the mail. Hi Melody, happy Monday. All right, so I'm going to bring over these inserts one more time and close up my Misty Moonlight and break out my Night of Navy ink. And this for the inside says, "It's your day, enjoy it," and that is from the Happiest of Birthdays set. This is one of my go-tos. I like having happy birthday on the outside of the card, but I don't like to be too repetitive on the inside. And so I like this, "It's your day, enjoy it," because then you can always write happy birthday inside if you want. So just tap your stamp in your ink. Remember, you're not doing CPR on your stamps. If you smush your stamp into your ink pad, you're going to have ink everywhere, all over the stamp, all over your block, and all over your project. And I don't know about you, but I'm really good at sticking my fingers in ink anyway. I don't need to add to it with too much ink on my stamp. So just tap lightly. Give a little press, 1, 2, 3, and then you should hopefully have a good impression on your stamps. So there, my inserts are done. And I'm going to set that aside from. One of the great things about those inks are water-based dye inks is they dry super quick, so I don't have to worry about smearing. So I'm going to bring over my Label Me Lovely punch and punch out my sentiments for the front. And you can get as involved as you want when you are decorating the front of your card. I chose to keep this relatively simple, but I'll show you what your objective is on the front of the card as soon as I get these punched out. There's 2. 1 more to go. I love punches. It's just so easy to stamp and punch and be on your way. Although don't get me wrong, I love die cuts too. So your objective on the front of the card is to cover your little intersection here. Just in case something isn't quite lined up right, a little sentiment can cover a multitude of sins. but it just kind of pulls it all together. So let me break out my dimensionals here. So I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of my sentiments. I have the little mini dimensionals. We also have large ones. These mini ones are great for small areas on projects, or if you happen to run out of large ones like I did. Had to place an order today. They are also great for any kind of project. So I'm just going to break off the back of the dimensionals, peel these little labels off. And then put my sentiment right there. And real quick for those other two cards. We have so many fun patterns of DSP, especially with the holiday catalog out right now. Christmas prints would be a lot of fun. Those Gilded Autumn papers would be beautiful too. And of course, any kind of paper for any kind of occasion. So there we go. There's our card fronts. All done. Nice and simple. What was that? 20 minutes, and I've been talking throughout all this, and we've got cards almost completely finished. One thing you could do as well, I thought about doing this and then I decided not to, is if you don't like the look of the plain cardstock, if you wish it was just had a little something, take a floral stamp or a geometric stamp, goes with your paper, but isn't too overpowering, and just stamp tone on tone. Like I could have stamped Night of Navy leaves or flowers right on top of this, and it would just give it a little something, but still go perfectly with the design and pull it all together. So just a little tidbit there for you. All right, so last step. My envelopes are stamped, my card fronts are assembled, and I'm just going to put my card inserts inside if my glue wants to cooperate. Good gravy. There we go. Apparently I'm not flicking my wrist enough this evening, and it wants to be a little difficult. Okay, so while I am finishing up these inserts, be sure to check out that stamp sale, and don't forget World Card Making Day is coming quickly. It's actually next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. I looked at the calendar and nearly had a heart attack. How can it almost be the end of September already? Why is it this month has gone faster than any other month since March? I don't get it. But anyway, this Friday is September the 25th, and that is the deadline for my World Card Making Day virtual workshop. And so for $20, you will get a packet of materials to make 8 cards. 5 of them you will see on my Facebook page. I would show you them tonight, but I was actually working on assembling packets earlier, so they're a little out of my reach. But I did design the last 3 cards that I'm not going to show you. One of them is a regular card, and the other 2 are Christmas themed, and I think you ladies will enjoy them. So if you are interested, please let me know by Friday so that I can get the packets made up and delivered to you for crafting together a week from this Saturday on October the 3rd. All right. So here we go. Look at this. I've got 2 sets of birthday cards ready to go. I love it. Okay. And so let me break out just a couple other samples. I tried not to go overboard. I did make a Christmas card, and this one I used 2 colors of cardstock and 1 piece of designer series paper, and you can see the look changed based on where the pieces were. It's funny, the stripes all go in the same direction, but I feel like these 2 have a totally different look from each other, just the way they're positioned. And again, I could have stamped some images on that solid cardstock if I wanted, but I really like the way it looked this way. So there's 3 Christmas cards, and then I decided to go with something a little manly. And you do not have to go with a certain shape to cover your little intersection on the front of your card. I did rectangles here. The design I saw initially had circles. And so on the Christmas card, I did a circle with another shape. And then, of course, I did this Label Me Lovely punch on the birthday card. So you can use anything. But I kind of thought these looked a little more manly. But you could obviously send these to a lady too. And that is from our Forever Fern Suite. So there you go, ladies. That is our Mystery Monday technique for today, September the 21st. If you need any supplies or you want to take a look at that stamp sale on Wednesday, be sure to check out thefaithfulstamper.stampinup.net and use that September host code for a chance to be entered to win an embellishment prize pack. If you came in late to the video or you missed some of the instruction and need to go back and take another look, don't worry, the replay will be available right here on this webpage very shortly after I finish up this evening. And the video will also be posted very shortly on my new YouTube channel, which is Faithfully Stampin' with Jennifer Helm. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would pop over there and subscribe to the channel. I am hoping to have every video that I create on Monday and Friday evenings posted, and you might find some bonus videos there as well. I will definitely let you know when videos go up on that YouTube page. This is kind of a new venture for me, so had a couple of hurdles last week, but I think we're rolling in the right direction now, and I so appreciate your support of me and my crafting business. So I will not keep these anymore. Be sure to stay tuned to the Facebook page over the next couple of days for announcements about that stamp sale and reminders about the World Card Making Day event coming up soon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this Mystery Monday. I hope you had a wonderful time learning a new technique. Have a great week, take care, and happy crafting.